Hey there, and welcome to another Stardew Valley video. In today's video, I'll be going in depth on the community center. I will cover what the community center is, why and how you want to restore it, and my approach to restoring the community center. Now, if you're new to the game or never really focused on the community center in the past, this will help you out tremendously and make your Stardew Valley experience even better. The community center is located north of Pierre's General Store in the town square and becomes available after day 5 of spring. If you've just started playing and you've come across it and wondered why is it locked, it's because you do need to wait until day 5 to trigger the cutscene that unlocks it for you. Now the good news is once it's unlocked, it won't ever be closed and you can access it at any time of the day. So the community center is initially abandoned and run down. However, this is where a huge part of our objective and endgame will come from in Stardew Valley. Your goal is to restore the community center by providing different bundles that we will go more in depth about later in the video. Now, in return for restoring the community center, it will unlock more of the game by improving the town and reward you with ways to improve your gameplay. Before we jump to restoring the community center, you do have another option. You can choose to allow Joja Mart to take over the town by purchasing a Joja membership, which will replace the community center with a warehouse. I personally enjoy restoring the community center. So let's talk about restoring the community center. The community center consists of different rooms, each with bundles that require items like crops, fish, artisan goods, and foraged items. Completing these bundles grants rewards and town-wide benefits. So the first room that you'll come across is the foraging room, also known as the crafts room, which unlocks the quarry. The quarry itself can be home to every ore and gem in the game. Depending on which season that you're in, you can quickly focus on foraging the required items for your current seasonal bundle. Now, in completing your first bundle, you will quickly unlock the second room of the community center, allowing you to work on the pantry room, also known as the farming room. Now, let's talk more about the crafts room and what foraging you might need depending on your season. So if you're in the spring foraging that you'll do is the wild horseradish, the daffodils, leeks, or dandelions. If you're in the summer, you'll focus on the spiceberry, grape, and sweet pea. For fall foraging, you'll come across the common mushroom, wild plum, hazelnut, and blackberry. And in the winter, you'll come across the winter root, crystal fruit, snow yam, and the crocus. Now, another bundle that you can do year-round is the construction bundle, which requires 99 wood 2 times and 99 stone, as well as 10 hardwood. Now, you might be asking yourself, where do you get the hardwood? You'll get that by breaking out bigger tree stumps, but it does require you to upgrade your axe, so I definitely recommend doing that early. Now, another bundle that you can do, and I recommend starting on as soon as possible, is the exotic foraging bundle, which will choose 5, either coconut, the cactus fruit, cave carrot, red mushroom, purple mushroom, the maple syrup, the oak resin, or the pine tar. Now, the strategy for this particular room, like I mentioned, depending on what season you're in, you want to quickly forage and go around and just get all the items needed for your bundle. Now, secondly, you want to tap trees as early as possible. So if you're not familiar with what tapping is, you can create a tap and construct it through your menu. Once you construct that, you'll go over to one of your trees, depending if it's a maple tree, an oak tree, a pine tree. You'll go ahead and put it on the tree, and after a few days, you're going to get pine tar, oak resin, or maple syrup. And that's something that you can go and turn back in to complete your exotic foraging bundle. Now, the other thing that I mentioned is that you want to make sure that you upgrade your axe. You're going to go do this with Clint, the blacksmith, and I recommend doing it early. It does cost you 5,000 gold, and you won't have an axe for 2 days. So keep that in mind, but that's going to allow you to go ahead and get hardwood. As I mentioned, once you unlock one of the bundles and you complete one of the bundles for this particular room, it's going to unlock the second room, which is the pantry or the farming room. Now, this is one of the most important rooms because it unlocks the greenhouse. The benefits of the greenhouse is that there's no seasonal limitations. You can plant spring, summer, fall, or winter crops inside the greenhouse at any time. Also, you can grow different seasonal crops together within the greenhouse, meaning you can do all spring, summer, fall, and winter, or just spring and summer, depending on what you're needing. You're going to be able to do that inside of that greenhouse. Also, you're not going to need any sort of scarecrows. This is inside. You won't have any issues with any crows accessing your crops. Now, what type of bundles are you going to need for this particular room? You're going to need a spring crops bundle. So if you're just starting the game and it's springtime, you want to make sure that you focus on this and plant parsnip, green bean, cauliflower, and potato. If it's the summertime, you're going to need tomato, hot pepper, blueberry, and melon. For the fall, you're going to need corn, eggplant, pumpkins, and yam. Now, one of the harder ones here is the quality crop bundle. So this is very important because if you don't do this, you're going to have to wait an entire year to be able to do so. You're going to need 5 gold stars for each season. So for example, you're going to need 5 gold star parsnips, 5 gold star melons, 5 gold star pumpkins, and 5 gold star corn. The way to do this is that you want to make sure that you fertilize the ground when you're planting your parsnips or your melons or pumpkins. This is going to give you an opportunity to get those gold star pumpkins or gold star parsnips, and you're going to turn this in to complete this particular bundle. Now, another bundle that you're going to need for this particular room is the animal bundle, which requires large milk, large brown egg, large white egg, large goat milk, wool, and a duck egg. And the way that you're going to do this is that you're going to build a coop or a barn, and you're going to need to go out and actually buy these animals from the town, and you're going to be able to get these items at that time. Now, there's also an artisan bundle. You'll choose 6, either truffle oil, cloth, goat cheese, honey, jelly, apple, apricot, orange, peach, pomegranate, or cherry. So the strategy to this particular bundle and this particular room is you want to prioritize quality crops. You want to buy animals as soon as possible and upgrade your coops and barns. And you want to also plant fruit trees before the fall to get the artisan bundle items that you're going to need. Now, the third room area, you're going to see a fishing tank, which also cleans the waterways. So the bundles that you're going to need for the fish tank are river fish bundle, which is the sunfish, catfish, shad, and tiger trout. The lake fish bundle is going to be the largemouth bass, the carp, the bullhead, and the sturgeon. The ocean fish bundle is going to be the sardine, the tuna, the red snapper, and the tilapia. And you'll also need a night fish bundle, which is the walleye, the bream, and the eel. And then you'll also need the crab pot bundle. Now, the way that you're going to do this is that you're going to need to craft crab pots and go put these out in the ocean and put some bait. And every day you can check them. So you can either craft them or you can purchase them. I believe they're about 1,500 gold. You'll buy those from Willie. Now, there's also a specialty fish bundle, which is the puffer fish, the ghost fish, and sandfish. Now, the strategy with this particular room and bundles is to check the fish availability per season and weather. So there are some fish that can only be caught in certain seasons, and there are other fish that can be caught only at night, or other fish that can only be caught when it's raining. So that's something where I am going to go in depth on a fishing guide and let you know kind of where every fish needs to be caught, what time of day, what type of season. Also, you want to make sure that you upgrade your rod and use bait and tackle to catch difficult fish. So you can do that with Willie. Also, like I mentioned, you're going to use crab pots to complete the bundle passively. You're just going to put those out every day, and every day you're going to go back and you have a chance of catching, like I mentioned, the crab, the lobster, or the crayfish. The next room is going to be the boiler room. The boiler room unlocks the minecarts. Now, this is one of the most important rooms other than the greenhouse, because this is going to save you the most amount of time in game. Just like in real life, the game itself depends on your energy and your time. So let's talk about what it takes to complete this particular room and which bundles you're going to need. So for the boiler room, the first bundle that you're going to see is the blacksmith's bundle, which is going to require copper bar, iron bar, and gold bar. So the copper bar you can quickly get as you go into the mine. You'll be able to get it within the first 40 floors. As you go deeper into the mine, I believe it's from floor 40 to floor 80. That's where you're going to get the iron bars. And then you're going to get the gold bars or the gold ore to smelt from floor 80 to 120. So you are going to spend some time in the mines, and this is why it unlocks that minecart for you, take you either to the mines or the quarry. Now, the geologist bundle, this is going to be the quartz, the earth crystals, the frozen tears, and the fire quartz that you're going to find within the mine as well. And if you're not familiar with the mine, when you're in there, you're also going to come across monsters or mobs that you're going to fight. So the adventures bundle is going to give you the slime, the 10 bat wings, the 1 solar essence, or the void essence. Now, the strategy behind this is you want to make sure that you're smelting ores as soon as possible. You want to go ahead and mine frequently. That way you can get the minerals and the monster drops. Also, upgrade your pickaxe to progress deeper into the mines. Now, the next room and the next bundles that you're going to work on is the bulletin board. The bundles that you're going to need is the chef's bundle, which is the maple syrup, fiddlehead fern, truffle, poppy, the Mackie roll, the fried egg. Since this is miscellaneous, this is something that you're going to be able to use from different seasons. So keep an eye on this, and the best way to kind of see if it's something that you need for your actual community center is if you hover over the item in your bags or in your inventory, you're going to see the little community center button at the top right. It's going to flash. That means it's something that is required for you to turn in at the community center. So if you see that, make sure to take the time and turn it in for your bundle. You're going to need the dye bundle, which is the red mushrooms, the sea urchins, sunflowers, the duck feather, the aquamarines, and the red cabbage. This is a lot of different things that you're going to get as you play the game. The field research, which is the purple mushroom, the nautilus shell, the chub, the frozen geodes, also the fodder bundle, which is 10 wheat, 10 hay, 3 apples, and the enchanter's bundle, which is the oak resin, wine, rabbit's foot, and pomegranate. So as you work on your seasons, just make sure that you take a look at the bundles and you spend some time trying to access those items. That way you don't miss out on something that can only be done in one season. Or if you unlock the greenhouse, then more than likely you'll be able to work on stuff from past seasons or other seasons you'll need for these particular bundles. So what's the strategy to complete this particular room in bundles? You want to make sure that you raise animals for truffle, duck feathers, and rabbit's foot. You can do that from the pigs. You get the truffle from the pigs, and obviously duck feathers from ducks and rabbit foot. Now you also buy apple saplings early for guaranteed apples in the fall, and you want to stockpile items like mushrooms and nautilus shells from the winter for later use. Now, number 6, which is also a very important room, is the vault. This is all money based, which unlocks the bus to Calico Desert, and what that pretty much does, it takes you to Skull Cavern. There's 4 different bundles and they have different costs. So you have the first bundle, which is 2,500 gold, the second one, which is 5,000 gold, then 10,000 gold, and 25,000 gold. Once you complete all these bundles, then you'll be able to use the bus and travel. So what's the strategy behind this? You want to just make sure that you sell artisan goods like cheese, wine, that make a lot of money. You want to make sure that you fish and farm aggressively. So there are particular crops that make a lot of money depending on the season. For example, in spring, cauliflower. In the summer, you have the blueberries. So make sure that you take some time and you're also working on your farm. Now, you're also going to want to invest in animals and crops that provide recurring profits. So for example, buying pigs is going to give you truffles. You can make truffle oil, which is going to make you a lot of money. So let's talk about completion benefits and tips, right? So you want to make sure that you prioritize unlocking the greenhouse early. It's going to allow year-round farming. You want to make sure that you unlock the Minecraft, which is going to save you massive travel times. Also, the bus to the desert that gives you access to Skull Cavern and unlocks iridium ores, and also completing the bulletin board, which raises your friendship with other people in the town. This brings us to the end of our community center guide. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more Stardew Valley.